So now I'll ask Dr. Jessica to switch on her mic and start the next session. I hope Dr. Ishwara Das has joined.
Yeah, I am here. I am here.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening. Who is the coordinator?
Sir, Dr. Jessica is with us.
Oh,
I'll just ask her to switch on the mic.
yeah, Dr. Jessica. Good evening.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, thank you.
Yeah.
So let us have a good time.
Yes. Yes, it will be. Well, here in Mexico, it's very cold, but it's good.
Let me put my earbud. Right.
Can you hear me? I don't know.
It's okay now. Audible? Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now, just tell me how to actually. mm, Somebody can explain how it is going to be, because evaluation is okay, but how to take out the form to fill up the evaluations? Any idea? No. Okay. Start it.
So hello, sir.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Ankit Gupta. So I'll be helping Dr. Jessica in this session.
Okay.
So the way to evaluate is basically you have to evaluate on a scale of 1 to 10
Okay.
all the posters, and you must have received a Google sheet
Yeah. I
on
got
your
it.
email.
Yeah.
You can do simultaneous entries on those Google sheets, or you can write the numbers on a separate sheet right now, and later on
Okay.
put that on the Google sheet.
That would be better. Fine.
Right, sir?
Okay. Yeah.
So shall we
Yeah.
begin with the first poster
Yeah.
presentation?
Yeah, Mr. Ankit. Go ahead.
So
Yeah, Jessica.
I invite Dr. Shilpi Rastogi now to present her poster.
Ankit,
Yes.
I just have the presentation. I don't have to do any more because they invited me yesterday.
Okay,
So
no worries.
I don't know what I have to do.
No worries. I'll
Sorry.
handle.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank
Dr.
you.
Shilpi Rastogi, please.
Hello, one and all present here. Is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, it's visible. Concept map on innovative tool.
Yes, sir.
What is the number?
42.
42. Okay, go ahead, Sylvie.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, LMHI, for giving me this opportunity to present my work and my observations in front of all of you. Presently, I'm working as professor and head of the department in Yenopoya Homeopathic Medical College, Yenopoya Deemed to be University in Karnataka. And here, being into university and affiliated from UGC, we have been always encouraged to prepare lots of innovations in teaching and learning methodologies. I am into field of education since last 14 years, and I'm teaching anatomy. As anatomy is the basic fundamental subject for irrespective of whichever medical field we follow. It could be allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurveda, anything, because learning normal human body is the first primitive requirement to become a doctor. During
One
the
second,
process,
one second, Shilpi. Actually, your slides are so.
okay, sir. Is it okay now?
Can you make it a little more?
Is it okay?
Good. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Fine. Thank you.
Sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. So as I'm teaching anatomy since years, I have realized that the first year students, when come to the institute, they find the subjects very difficult. And by the time they reach final year, it fades off their memory. But actually, the knowledge of anatomy is required throughout their life because they need to know normal to appreciate abnormal. And the normal is being taught in anatomy physiology. So while teaching these subjects, I have gone through a methodology called as making a concept map. During making these concept maps, first I learned how to do so, and I have started introducing in this method of teaching, learning, or innovation in the end of my class. I have done it with few classes. Then later I thought that I should review on that is this method working out for my students or not? Because till now we were following didactic methods. We used to teach and student used to listen, and it used to be only unidirectional. And what student hear, what student absorb, and what student represent or recall, there is no catching point between the two. So I wanted there should be some stimulus given to them in their hands, which they can summarize the class and which they can take home message from my class. For that, I have prepared few and I have posted on YouTube, and I have made videos, and I have introduced in my end of my class. After doing so, I collected my students and prepared a validated questionnaire. The point of saying validated is I got it reviewed from my university members, from my peers, and my other educational colleagues. After making that questionnaire, I included the students who have passed out anatomy immediately after their exams and the students who are dealing with me in the subject of anatomy. So I collected 120 students from our institute itself, that is Yanapoya Homeopathic Medical College, and I have conducted a survey. In the survey, I have asked 10 questions, sir. And during those questions, I just wanted to gather the information that is this method useful or is it fruitful to be followed further? So my questions included that sir, one more thing I wanted to add. In this concept map, I have tried to include using of name of the first or using the first alphabet of a bone or a relation or a structure involved, which makes the process more remembering and recalling better. So I've included questions like, is this method easy? Is this method is helping them to recall what they have learned in a smaller duration of time? Is this method making the class most interactive, or is it breaking the monotony of the class? Or is this method helping them to remember the topic for a longer duration as compared to just reading and sitting in the class and attending the class? I have even asked that, do this method of making concept maps or mind map, should we add in our system or add in our curriculum? Because in our board of study meetings, sir, it has been asked that we should include some innovation which is very fruitful, and that innovation should be validated prior. So I wanted to know that if this method is useful for their anatomy subject, then can be included in my curriculum as well. So after conducting the studies, most of the questions, the answers were above 55%, most of the questions, which gave me a good boost to continue this methodology and making concept map. And I try to include most of the topic, ending my class with these concept maps. So I'll go towards the conclusion part of it, sir. Student found this method very easy to remember, easy to recall, makes the class more interesting, less boring, and it's a beautiful innovation for them. They find the classes are more attractive because they can take home the message on one single sheet or in one single para. So, introduction of this method, I wanted to include by blending the learning process in an active way of using concept map and a passive way in which we use didactic method of teaching, so that this blending role helps the student to grow their skills as well. Anatomy is a theoretical subject in which we give knowledge, and I wanted to include certain skills in that. So this method helped me to include those as well. So this teaching learning strategy and creative style of teaching is the need of the hour for the subject, which are essential and allied and which remains with the student throughout their knowledge and wisdom. So with this, I wanted to say that concept map, mind map should be included. Nowadays in COVID pandemic, during online teaching also we realized that making student involved in the classes was a big challenge for most of the professors throughout the country. Including students during the class doesn't mean that I ask question online and the student reply to me online. I want them, we have a software, sir, for our students, which we call as learning management system, which our university has provided for the students. So after each class, I introduce concept map and we ask student to prepare the concept map of the topic and they have to upload on the software. And we make sure that the concept map should be limitation of words should be there. Use of single sheet will be there, because to make notes, students will copy, sir. But for making those concept maps, students have to understand the full concept and figure it out and then put it on the paper. So with this, I wanted to stress that improvisation, innovation, and creativity to be included to make the teaching process passionate for the teacher and learning process enjoyable and to remain throughout with them for the students.
Okay. Very good. Dr. Jessica, would you like to ask some questions to her? Because you are now free from coordination. Would you like to ask some questions?
So she
No.
she
No.
she is a
Okay.
moderator. You
No,
may
no, no. Okay,
ask her
but
the question.
that doubt you have taken.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
yes. You may
Dr.
ask the question.
Yeah, sure. I ask. Dr. Shilpi, fine. You wanted to universalize your method of teaching, fine. But you have taken a sample of one batch of students who are directly under your teaching methodology in one institute. Do you like that this should be further improved with a better, larger samples, better, more institutions? Yanapoi Institute, Yanapoi Medical College, Yanapoi institutions have allopathic, nursing,
Yes, sir.
dental, so many
Yes.
things are there. Would you
Yes,
like
sir.
to test this methodology with a more homogeneous sample from different branches of medicine
Yes, sir.
before making it more useful?
Yes, sir. I wish to do that, sir.
Because your approach is good, well appreciated. I
Thank
think before venturing for universalizing this
Yes.
in the teaching curriculum, it need to be tested with a little more
Wider
larger sample and
population.
also with some sort of a control study. Right?
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
you have done it good. Keep it up. Fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for motivating, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, Ankit. Next.
So next is Mr. Carlos Leopoldo Lerma Dorado from Spain. I don't know if he has joined yet because his name is not showed up on the list.
Mhm.
So we can move to the next presentation. Dr.
Mhm.
Carlos, have you joined? Okay.
Oh, he's from?
So Dr. Carlos
Hola.
is from Spain, and he'll be speaking on homeopathy, the art of healing, and its cultural heritage.
What is number?
Abstract-
Presentation number?
Tract ID is 155.
150. Good.
So Dr. Carlos, will you be speaking in Spanish or
Yes,
English? You'll be
Spanish.
speaking in Spanish. Okay,
Possible.
Dr. Jessica will take care then.
Yeah.
One
Hola,
moment. Hola, Jessica.
Hola, ¿puede usted hablarlo en español? Y yo trataré de hacer el resumen al final, no se preocupe.
Ah, muy bien. Perdón, para compartir el póster, ¿lo hago yo o lo hacen ustedes?
Usted, si quiere,
Bueno, vamos a ver si
quiere y
sé.
si puede. ¿Puede?
Muy bien. Bueno, voy a intentarlo porque le doy a compartir pantalla, imagino. Y ahora...
Oh,
So I would request Dr. Carlos to at least share his poster and magnify to it a certain extent so that the chair can visualize it properly.
Sorry for my dogs. Sorry. And, doctor, que si puede compartir y ampliar la pantalla para que podamos ver su póster, por favor. Sí puede
vamos
compartir.
a ver.
En donde dice compartir pantalla, está en verde, es un cuadrito con una flechita hacia arriba.
Sí.
Y le da...
Compartir. Y ahora lo tengo que buscar en mi ordenador, me imagino.
Exactamente, sí.
Vamos a ver, porque archivos, perdón. Vamos a ver. Compartir. Y lo voy a abrir un momentito, perdón. Vaya, estas cosas.
No se preocupe,
Vamos a ver. Ahora me imagino que sí. Compartir. Vamos a ver.
Dr. Jessica will help and translate the poster at the end and summarize it
okay.
for Dr. Ishwar.
¿Lo pueden ver ustedes?
Sí, doctor.
Ya lo compartí, creo, ¿verdad?
Sí, ya está.
No sé si hace falta ampliarlo un poco más o se ve bien.
Si se puede un poquito más, estaría muy bien.
Yeah.
Ahí está bien, sí.
Vale. Estupendo. Bueno, pues buenas tardes, good evening or good night or good morning. My name is Carlos. Carlos Lerma. I'm from Spain. Sorry, I speak in Spanish. Bueno, buenas tardes. Hablo desde la ciudad de Sevilla, en España, y el póster que le presento a continuación se titula Homeopatía, el arte de curar y su patrimonio cultural. Samuel Hahnemann nació en la ciudad alemana de Meissen en el año 1755 y desde el año 1841 es reconocido por esta misma ciudad como ciudadano de honor por sus méritos sobresalientes por la ciencia médica y el bienestar de todas las personas. A Hahnemann se le conoce también como el padre de la homeopatía. Por otro lado, a la homeopatía muchos la denominan el arte de curar, por entender al paciente de una manera global y buscar su curación de una forma rápida, sutil y duradera. Pero el arte no solo lo encontramos en la aplicación del método terapéutico que utilizan los médicos homeópatas. Alrededor de este arte de curar ha surgido una rica cultura relacionada con las ciencias artísticas, encontrando objetos que relacionan a la homeopatía con disciplinas como la numismática, la filatelia, las medallas, la música, los cuadros, monumentos, construcciones, botiquines, incluso la poesía. Este rico patrimonio cultural que rodea la homeopatía, de una o de otra manera, ha transmitido el saber de esta terapia en sus más de 225 años de recorrido. Entendemos por patrimonio cultural esos elementos de la cultura que han sido seleccionados por un grupo y son referentes para el colectivo. Hemos recibido del pasado, los vivimos en el presente y los vamos a transmitir a generaciones futuras. Este patrimonio hay que protegerlo. Dentro de estos elementos culturales a proteger, las leyes distinguen entre patrimonio cultural histórico. Tienen su valor porque vienen del pasado, son cosas antiguas, no hay otra igual. Patrimonio cultural artístico, tienen un valor por lo estético, adquirido mediante recursos manuales, lingüísticos o sonoros. Y patrimonio etnológico, es el que viene del pasado, pero sigue vivo en el presente. Es una tradición, no se debe perder, es algo inmaterial. Como con este póster quiero conocer y también a la vez transmitir en este magnífico foro la necesidad de construir un inventario sobre la riqueza cultural que posee la terapia homeopática en el contenido de las ciencias artísticas. Está apartada de las ciencias médicas, que es el estandarte de la homeopatía. Todo tipo de patrimonio histórico y de relevancia en la sociedad debe ser protegido por las leyes. Concretamente, en España, esa protección viene de la mano de los denominados bienes de interés cultural, que es la distinción máxima que otorga la ley a un bien a nivel nacional debido a su importancia. Concentrándonos en España, hemos encontrado hasta el momento más de 20 bienes reconocidos como de interés cultural y como consecuencia están protegidos por la ley. Uno de los más emblemáticos es el Instituto Homeopático y Hospital de San José, que está en la ciudad de Madrid, reconocido como monumento artístico. En su gran mayoría lo que encontramos son botiquines homeopáticos. A destacar tenemos el botiquín real de la reina Isabel II de España, del año 1844, fabricado en Meissen, la ciudad de Hahnemann. Es capaz de albergar 3.000 medicamentos y es el mayor botiquín que se conserva en España. Fuera de España, como citamos en el póster, encontramos también maravillas, todos de alguna o de otra manera catalogadas como patrimonio cultural dentro de sus países. Por ejemplo, tenemos el cuadro Homeopatía, viendo los horrores de la alopatía, el autor Alexander Weidemann, del año 1857, y es propiedad de la galería Trek Yarok, que está en Moscú, en Rusia. También encontramos el Hospital Homeopático y Dispensario de Hahnemann como edificio. Está en la ciudad de Liverpool, inaugurado en el año 1887 y está incluido dentro de la Ley de Planificación de 1990 como edificio cotizado y áreas de conservación del Estado británico. Otro monumento que traemos al
Carlos, you may
póster.
conclude now.
Sorry.
The time is running and you may conclude now.
Sí,
Me
el
queda muy
tiempo.
poquito.
Sí.
Sí, pues ya,
He started little late. Let him take one
muy
or
poquito.
Yeah.
Sorry. Otro monumento es la escultura de Samuel Hahnemann, que está en Washington, D.C., y del año 1900 y está incluido en el Registro Nacional de Lugares Históricos desde 2007. No es fácil encontrar este tipo de patrimonio homeopático protegido por la ley. En todos los lugares del mundo, afortunadamente, existen muchos museos dedicados a la homeopatía, que sería un buen referente para comenzar este bonito estudio de reconocimiento y recopilación. Desde aquí, animo, por favor, a todas aquellas personas que tengan noticias de estos bienes, lo hagan saber con sus correspondientes documentos acreditativos. Para terminar, una conclusión. Tener presente que ese patrimonio etnológico, la tradición, que viene del pasado, sigue vivo en el presente y debe transmitirse a generaciones futuras, ese arte de curar no se debe perder por el bien de muchos pacientes que ven en él un estupendo aliado en la salud. Muchas gracias y espero estar on time. Finish.
Fine. Thank you.
Muy
Yeah,
bien,
Dr.
Doc. Gracias.
Yeah, Dr.
Well,
Jessica.
yes, I have to translate the most
Little bit.
important
Give
thing.
a gist. That's all. No need to
Yeah.
translate. Yeah.
He proposed that a cultural research and art research to all the things, the objects, the paints, buildings, monuments from homeopathy in all the world, and that we can make a a book or a compendium that we have all those culture things that homeopathy left us. So like a paints, like books, like for example, he put the picture of the botiquín of the Isabel, the Queen Isabel, and that they used homeopathy, and it was very complete, and it's a very good botiquín. So made from in Germany. So they propose it's a cultural research.
Good. Dr. Carlos, good. Actually, there is one book. I think, have you seen The Faces of Homeopathy? Have you ever come across the book Faces of Homeopathy? A lot of information is already available. You can build up from that. There is a
Él dice que si usted conoce que hay un libro que sí muestra algunas ciertas información, que si usted lo conoce sobre información cultural.
Bueno, no lo conozco. Si por favor él me pudiera dar la referencia, pero en este póster es verdad que hay mucha información cultural, pero lo que hago hincapié en este póster son la cultura que está protegida por ley, y al estar protegida por ley, pues no se puede destruir. Entonces, hay muchos botiquines en el mundo, pero a lo mejor esos botiquines, por desgracia o porque pues no están protegidos por la ley y no son tan especiales. Eso es lo que me gustaría a mí que saliera de este foro. Algo, pero que la ley los proteja, porque hay muchos cuadros, hay muchos botiquines, hay muchos libros sobre homeopatía, pero poder distinguir. Y la verdad que libros de cultura homeopática sí que conozco, pero si él, por favor, me pudiera dar alguna bibliografía, pues muy bienvenida. Gracias.
He said that he don't have the book, but if you want to give or share the biography, the bibliography, it will be very good. But he tried to put that all those art, all those buildings, all those monuments are by law protected by law, and it will be very important because I think that is in Spain they want to destroy everything about homeopathy, and if the government had see the important, the historical importance of this of the homeopathy, and it will be a make a law that protect them. So it is this proposed that he want to propose by law all those things, all the botikins that it was destroyed, historical and very important botikins, and that will be don't be destroyed.
Okay, okay. Good luck. Good luck. All the best for him. Okay. Nice. It's nice. At least make efforts. We wish that he should do it much better work. Okay. All the best. What is the time in your place in Spain now? What is the time? What is your time?
Sir, it is the same CET.
Oh, same thing. Okay.
Yes, it's 5 to 7 in the evening.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, all the best. Yeah, all the best. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Carlos, for the wonderful effort and the poster presentation. We would.
Doctor, que muy bien por el esfuerzo y por la presentación, y que ojalá se pueda hacer algo más. Es lo que ellos mencionan.
Muchas gracias. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. So we will move to the next poster presentation, and that is from Dr. Rajesh Ramkumar Yadav. And the topic of presentation is Evolving Curriculum to Teach Principles of Mental Health Using Hahnemannian Guidelines to Homeopathic Undergraduates, a study in integration.
What is the number?
His abstract ID is 185.
Dr.
Rajesh Ramkumar.
Total, how many are there, Dr. Ankit? Total for this session.
So we have 14 participants in this session.
Okay.
So we have to be quick. Dr.
Yes,
Rajesh, please.
Yeah, my screen is visible.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Yeah, so I'll start. So good evening everyone. Hope everybody is in good health from India and around the world. So talking about health, the mental health, which is sometimes majorly neglected. So the definition itself by WHO, which talks about mental health, which is not just merely the absence of mental illness, but is the ability of an individual to cope up with the stresses and function effectively into his nearby surrounding and the overall cultural background, everything. So to get the understanding and utility of this knowledge for self and for the social well-being, one must get equipped with the knowledge of normal human behavior. But surprisingly, the teaching of psychology to teach the normal human behavior is still concerned, and it's controversial between the students and the teacher itself, related to its place in the medical curriculum. The idea is already been questioned as understanding, as everybody knows, the understanding of behavior is central to the treatment of disease and for the promotion of health itself. So homeopath who are into the making, the undergraduate students who are into the making of becoming a homeopath clinicians in the future, they must get an exposure to these understanding, as we all know that homeopathy works on the holistic concept, holistic management, where they look into all the interrelationships of will, emotion, and intellect, as rightly said, postulated by our Dr. J.T. Kent. So bringing in the changes which are already been prescribed to us for the curriculum of psychology, which seems to be scattered. So to bring in that connection, if you can see here, we are trying to incorporate the intellect, will, emotion, and how based on the Hahnemannian principle, where health and sickness, these two are to be looked upon. So 13 topics which were selected just to bring in the understanding, which help to understand the evolution of an individual from infancy to adulthood, and it's to bring the better grasp of the whole topic, the clinical material which were used to incorporate for a case-based teaching, by the postgraduate student who used their clinical knowledge and started to apply, preparing for their presentations for teaching these specific type topics which are given for to them for teaching the undergraduate student. Using those case-based teaching allow the undergraduate student, to grasp the better understanding what level of the difficulties are available in terms of clinical exposure, and simultaneously it was being correlated with the normalcy and abnormalcy altogether, and it was been tested with pre-session and post-session MCQs. So 10 MCQ were given before the session, and 10 MCQs were given after the session, so that an understanding in terms of the conceptual understanding of the topic itself and its application, because the questions were also application based, were assessed, and it was observed overall the improvement in terms of pre and post MCQ. And also, surprisingly, in initial day, it was also observed that students from different sections, different years, they used to come together and sit for the lectures to attend, because these topics were interesting, and the amount of energy the postgraduate student have invested into to bring the liveliness of these topics, that grasped the attention of all these undergraduate students, and that allowed the better understanding in terms of gathering the overall development of human from infancy to adulthood, and its overall learning process, personality, how all these things come together, give rise to a certain conflicting situation, and how we as a homeopath can look into from our perspective, not only looking at the clinical perspective of diagnosing somebody, but trying to help them. So in a way, it was a process which equipped the future clinician to understand themselves first, and which allowed understanding themselves, which will allow them to understand the patient who comes to the chamber every now and then. So at the end, I would like to highlight that the restructuring and restrengthening of this prescribed curriculum, which is available in this thing in our CCH, because if you see, hardly few hours of sessions have been allotted, and that too are been kept as an optional at major aspect of the time. So bringing in these interesting ways of showing the normalcy and abnormalcy, especially using the clinical based material, that will get the proper attention of these undergraduate and allow them to apply in their clinical and practical knowledge every now and then. So curriculum which is available, which needs to be integrated in terms of psychology, homeopathy philosophy, and factors in application to case, along with the homeopathy materia medica. And this will allow the budding homeopaths to adapt to the holistic and comprehensive biopsychosocial model, and exposing budding homeopaths to the normal and abnormal state will help them to understand themselves and bring in the preventive approaches in community, and understand them and patient itself. So I would like to give a special thanks to LMHI for giving me this opportunity to present this understanding, and the college which this thing is going on, they have allowed us to do this whole project since last few years to bring in this understanding. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, doctor. Thank you, Dr. Rajesh. You are teaching in Virar Homeopathy College.
Yeah, we have visited Virar Homeopathy colleges.
No, you visited or you are teaching?
No, sir. I'm a lecturer in Department of Psychiatry, ML Palgar.
Okay.
We have a postgraduate students. So in their postgraduate training, teaching to UG student is a mandatory process.
Okay. Now, this psychology is a part of homeopathic philosophy and organon of medicine.
Yeah.
Already that subject itself is so overloaded, homeopathic philosophy, and how would you like to take the time out of this whole allotted periods in first year, second year, third year, fourth year? Where you would like to use it? Idea is good.
See, sir, psychology is a part. If I look at from the curriculum perspective, psychology comes into part 2. VHMS part 2, and psychiatry comes into later part, VHMS part 4. So these topics which have been allotted, which we are using since almost 4 to 5 years, there are 13 topics which will take 13 hours in the whole year time. So bringing in these aspect every now and then, that will allow also curriculum to complete and in greater depth. If I look at just complete, apart from just completing the curriculum, these things are going to help the clinician, because you know how mental health issues are increasing day by day. But if I am as a clinician is not aware of the normal functioning of psychology, I may not be able to address to that, and I may not be able to give a proper suggestion to that. If at least I can know, then I'll be able to understand myself also, and the patient who comes to us, then we can suggest something which is required, so that we can avoid patient from a normal stress handling difficult issues to going to the major psychiatric problems. So if I have understanding, then I can break that chain possibly.
Anyway, good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good.
Yeah, thank you.
We appreciate it. Right?
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh,
Thank you.
for the presentation. Now we would invite Dr. Manpreet Kaur, who is an associate professor from J.R. Kisan Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Rohtak, Haryana. And she'll be speaking on the topic exploring the concept of miasm for clinical use. Her abstract ID is 247. Dr. Manpreet, please, you may start.
Yes.
Moving.
My screen is visible.
Yeah.
Enlarged enough. Easy visibility.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You can read it.
So firstly, I would like to thank the platform of LMHI for giving me this opportunity to present my work here. The title of my work is Exploring the Concept of Miasm for Clinical Use, and Professor Dr. Pankaj Agarwal sir has been the co-author of with me in this work. So basically by this, we want to convey that when we read about miasms, the concept of miasm has been understood through so many different approaches by so many different stalwarts ever since the time of antiquity. So when we think about its clinical application, the clinical utilization, it becomes difficult for us to select one suitable approach for the clinical understanding of the miasms. So with this work, we have explored into the various approaches of miasms given by so many different stalwarts, and also to come up with a clinically suitable model to diagnose miasm in each case. So for this, we have adopted a well-structured methodology, and in this, we have tried to tabulate it and try to understand miasm through its various facets, because whenever we study about miasm, we study through different facets like its definition, its cause, its method of eliciting, types, symptoms, stages, treatment methods, and also its development. So these facets have been studied under three heads, like during three eras: before Hahnemann, during Hahnemann's era, and after Hahnemann's era. So before Hahnemann, if we see, then miasm was, or diseases were looked through the cause, through the facet of its cause, being microbes, or through their constitutional foundation. So we have Hippocrates and Ludwig Christian Juncker, who came before Hahnemann and told about the constitutional foundation of the diseases. And then they regarded miasm to be caused by some obnoxious agents, microbes, or as constitutional foundation. Then Ludwig Christian Juncker told that symptoms are produced due to the suppression of itch or eruption. And this similar concept has been confirmed by 100 other writers. Hahnemann has given about this in his chronic diseases also. In Hahnemann's era, we see that Hahnemann told about miasm as a constitutional defect present, and he explored that through the anamnesis and noted the symptoms produced by the patients, and he categorized the diseases, the symptoms of diseases into three broad types: the SORA, the syphilis, and psychosis. And his approach was all through symptoms. He elicited the miasm through only with symptoms, giving the stages as well. He gave the cause, the method of eliciting. All these facets were given by him. Now, after Hahnemann, we see that so many different stalwarts have given different approaches towards miasms. Like Dr. M.L. Dhavle and Dr. Kent have viewed miasm through the nosological viewpoint. Then Rajan Sankaran, Dr. Rajan Sankaran, he views through the stages of life, the pace and depth of diseases. Dr. George Vitholkas through predisposition. Then Dr. Praful Vijayakar through defense trait. Then Dr. J.T. Kent tells about the spiritual aspect of miasms. And then Dr. Robert as disturbed assimilation. Dr. Harsh Nigam through the immunological approach towards miasm. Then Dr. Julian was a little modern in his approach, and he had given through biochemistry and through the modern concepts of modern scientific methods. Then Dr. Ortega relates miasm with color. So in this way, we see that so many different approaches have been there by the different stalwarts. But in this study, we just found that the approaches like we have found different approaches like symptomatological, Hahnemann, spiritual, then functional, then so on. But we see that for clinical utilization, the most suitable approaches are those who have followed the symptomatic approach similar to Hahnemann, which Hahnemann had done. So to conclude, we can just say that all approaches have definitely enlightened some or the other aspect of miasm, but miasmatic approach for bedside is the need of the hour. That is most needed so that we can apply and utilize this approach for the good of the patient at the bedside. So Hahnemann approach is the most feasible and which is can be very much followed at bedside clinically. So Hahnemann's method should be taken as an ideal one for the clinical application of miasms. Thank you. That's here I conclude. And there are so many different approaches which can be elaborated and seen in this table under all these facets: the definition, the cause, method of eliciting during different eras. They can be very well they are under one head. I have tabulated them in this table.
So, Dr. Ishwar Das, you'll have to switch on your mic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Dr. Manpreet, it's good that you have tabulated concepts of miasm from different time, from time immemorial, time from Hippocratic time to the present day. Still, you feel that the Hahnemannian approach on miasm is more valid even today?
Yes, the reason being that the approaches actually after Hahnemann, there have been stalwarts who have either followed Hahnemann or have criticized Hahnemann or have developed their own approach. So these three are the things which have happened. But clinically, most suitable are those who have followed the symptomatologic approach. Like in this table also, like we are using Kantanian approach. They have also used symptoms for eliciting. Then Dr. Robert, then Dr. Harsh Nigam, and so many other have used symptomatologic approach. And these approaches are very well utilized and useful in the clinical aspect.
Yeah.
So they have basically followed Hahnemann only. They are in favor of Hahnemannian theory and they have just brought it further with their own concept.
Yeah, everything evolves from what Hahnemann has told. Hahnemann was the fan who introduced it in homeopathy. And people are trying to expand it or explain it in different dimensions. Good.
Yes.
Having said that, still people have not understood properly what miasm is. Still a lot of confusion exists in spite of all these things. So everybody's approaches and everybody's explanations are still valid so long we are not able to come definite conclusion as to what are the clear-cut expressions of different miasms. To that extent, your presentation is good and all the best for you. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Manpreet Kaur.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
Jessica, you would like to ask
Thanks
something?
for this opportunity. For
No,
Thank
I think it's a very good job. It's very very good work, and it will be like very interesting. I like it a lot.
Good, good.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So
Yeah.
next we have Miss Robin Pollock, and she's from Enlightenment Education Institute in Canada, and she'll be speaking on the topic homeopathy, a medical science ahead of its time, and that time is now.
What is the
Her
number?
abstract ID is 254.
Okay.
And you can see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, we
Dr.
are able
Paul-
to.
Got the right one? Good.
You can enlarge it a bit.
Well, you know what? I'm essentially going to be reading something very similar to it. So I don't have a study. Most of the posters presented today here are about research that has already taken place. But today I want to talk to you about an upcoming book. It's co-authored with Dr. Jawar Shah. So actually Enlightenment Education is the one that's located in Mumbai, India. And it will essentially contrast Hahnemann's achievements, innovations, and spirit of forward thinking with what is happening today, 225 years later, and outline the steps that we encourage homeopaths to take with tools that are already available to watch Hahnemann on all these levels as applied to education and clinical practice, and also the crucial need for globalization to ensure the exponential growth and acceptance of our profession. So the medical system that Samuel Hahnemann was expected to practice in late 18th century Saxony quickly horrified and confounded him. Through self-experimentation with cinchona bark, he developed the concept of similibus curantur into a complete medical discipline. Now, if Hahnemann had spent his entire career only devising the philosophy and practice of homeopathy and determining and unleashing the curative power of substances, it would have been enough, as the saying goes. But this physician, scholar, polyglot, and chemist contributed so much more, bravely persisting despite the opposition and derision of the majority of his physician colleagues. For example, the benefits of hygiene and proper nutrition and exercise in his The Friend of Health pamphlets, humane treatment of the insane in the famous Clockenbring case of 1796, disease prophylaxis, for example, belladonna in scarlet fever, the paradoxical treatment of burns and frostbite. In other words, utilize like cures like and don't bathe a burn with cold liquids, but rather hot. And the correct anticipation of germ theory in his 1831 article, Cause and Prevention of the Asiatic Cholera, to name just a few. He and his system of homeopathy were both truly ahead of their time, displaying the incredible innovation and dissatisfaction with the status quo. So the takeaway from this brief foray into our history is that we, like Hahnemann, must also be foresightful and dissatisfied with our status quo as we pave our way into the future. In contrast to his zeitgeist, we are now armed with over 211 years of new provings and practical clinical experience since the 1810 publication of the first edition of the Organon. We have the strength of hundreds of thousands of practitioners worldwide, and we have computerized repertories and materia medicae that make light of our laborious work. We stand united in our own medicine of experience, which has demonstrated to our and our patients' eyes repeatedly the astounding efficacy of homeopathy. And we have the benefit of groundbreaking ongoing research showing not only how serial dilution and potentization actually cause remedial agents to behave in the way that Hahnemann predicted, but also that these agents are working on the cellular, genetic, and even epigenetic levels to trigger a healing response. But alas, bravery is insufficient to ensure the ongoing viability of our profession. We must also have a clear plan to ensure that both new and experienced physicians practice homeopathy at a level that ensures clinical and financial success. But our preparation for both is often inadequate, and failure too frequently ensues. Like the mother bird who only provides her offspring with worms but never teaches them how to forage for food, homeopaths often feel similarly bereft, oblivious as to how to apply their knowledge without mentors and supervisors, how to find and retain patients to sustain their practice, and how to use modern technology and social media tools to help them accurately determine the simillimum, market themselves, and connect to patients globally. So in this upcoming book, we will address these issues and provide a pathway for homeopathy as it moves onward, forward, and hopefully upward. John Donne's poem, No Man is an Island, in other words, that no single person is truly self-sufficient. We depend on being part of a community in order to both survive and flourish, is aptly applied to us as we move into the future. And in order to assure that we have a future, we need to come together, work together, and stay together. So we will strive in this book to provide both concrete direction and well-intentioned support to practitioners to ensure that homeopathy continues its courageous and righteous march into the future for infinite generations to come. Now, homeopathy may have been ahead of its time back in Hahnemann's day, but that time has now come. And we must put our minds together while expanding homeopathy globally. And if so, we can ensure its robust survival and acceptance for years to come. But we must take advantage of the tools available to us in this internet age, as well as the lessons that the pandemic has taught us about the desires of patients for greater convenience in their health care. So some of the things that we'll be covering in this book are confidence in treating the patient, and that is done through webinars, proper analysis of the case, which is provided through advanced repertorization software, getting patients through proper marketing, for example, your own webpage, social media, etc., keeping patients through mentorship and consultation, and seeing patients through a telemedicine platform, which supports globalization of the profession. So in my upcoming oral presentation, I will give many details about one aspect of this multi-pronged approach, telemedicine, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for your time, and thank you for inviting me.
Dr. Robin, you have given an overview of the book which is going to be published, and you are still having a oral presentation, right?
I still have an oral presentation. This is just an hors d'oeuvre. And then when I do the oral presentation, I'm going to give you the first course.
So we evaluate your paper here or there?
I think there. This was a gift giving me a poster. I appreciate it. The real meat is coming.
Okay. So nice. So we'll keep it like that, right? It's good. Now tell me in a nutshell.
Yes.
Homeopathy was a medical science. Homeopathy is a medical science, and homeopathy, you propose that it is the future of medicine, right?
I think, absolutely.
In spite of all the major achievements, clinical achievements, homeopathy is still being hunted by a few. And how do you propose to overcome that hunting or criticism?
I think mostly what is the problem is that we are misunderstood. I think people have latched onto one concept, and that is of ultra dilution, and they have left out the concept of potentization. And I think when we create, I always use, for my patients, I use the analogy, what would you rather, not that you want to kill anybody, but if you wanted to raise a village, R-A-Z-E, raise a village, right? Would you like to use a few bullets, or would you like to use a nuclear bomb? And obviously the answer is a nuclear bomb. It's more efficient. And I believe that the way that we elicit the inherent energy of our medicines through potentization is misunderstood. And in fact, it's ignored. And all everybody talks about is dilution. So I think that not only do we need to educate ourselves, but we need to educate the world as to how we work. And we need to have testimonials from people, and we need to show in vivo. You know, how many times have we thrown a pill into a child's mouth, a chamomilla child, and the child falls back into bed? I mean, what a presentation. So we need to use a little bit of, razzle dazzle to show people that we actually work. I think there's a misconception in the world about what we do and how we are, and we need to educate the world.
No, still, do you think that we would be able to scientifically prove that homeopathic potency is something, energy or some form of material is there?
Absolutely. And I think we already have. And I think we've already shown how we change what's going on in the body at the genetic level. I've seen many, many studies on that. And it's just a matter of getting people to listen to us. And so we need people like Dr. Shaw and what we're trying to do in order to get the world's attention. And then we need the backing of the scientists to give us that gravitas, that we are actually and we have to make sure that our studies are done properly and that there's a sufficient N and that that there aren't, so many people. I put up studies and then they tear them apart, that this wasn't done and this wasn't done. So we have to ensure that our scientists are doing the experimentations in a way that will be accepted by the world. We have to follow their paradigm.
Yeah, Dr. Robin, would like to listen you in your oral presentation. Thank you very much for being with us this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Robin. Now I would invite Dr. Sonam Ashish Kumar Mishra, and she is an assistant professor from M.L. Dhavle Memorial Homeopathic Institute, Palghar, India. And she'll be speaking on the topic integrated learning through objective-based education, an illustration of innovation in postgraduate teaching. Her abstract ID is 257.
Okay, thank you.
So, Dr. Sonam, you may start now.
Yeah, very good evening to one and all. This is Dr. Sonam Mishra from the Department of Practice of Medicine from M.L. Dhavle Homeopathic Institute, Palghar, Maharashtra. So we are here to talk about innovation in postgraduate teaching. So why innovation in postgraduate teaching? Because postgraduate teaching, it demands not only the theoretical aspects, but it also demands the application-based concepts, which is logical reasoning and understanding, so that students are able to correlate all the homeopathic subjects with the clinical medicine. So in order to understand and in order to reason out, the innovation is a must. So likely our aim goes to illustrate innovation in postgraduate teaching through integrated learning by objective-based education. Now, transferring this complexity to the students is a challenge. So for that, we have opted for the objective-based education. So what is objective-based education? Now, through objective-based education, we aim to define the area of focus in a stepwise manner, helping to understand the journey of the man from health to disease. So the objective, they serve as a goal to reach at the end of every session, giving direction to the students to navigate through the complexities of homeopathic practice. The methods that we had used, we had used a method. So here, a cured man with pilonidal sinus living in a world of desires was guided by base emotions. So this was taken up as objectives were defined as per the experience delivered to the physician who was involved throughout the management. Now this is the case-based learning where we had made certain objectives, and accordingly the directives were framed and reference reading was given to the students as per the objectives planned in the case. So the objectives focused were to understand the concept of man, desires and values, concept of hypersexuality, normal or abnormal, concept of repertorial and non-repertorial approach, and concept of materia medica differentiation. Accordingly, the directives were framed. So that is Dr. Kent and Dr. M.L. Dhavle model of man, that is the world of desires. Freud's psychodynamic theory of ego, superego, that is the man driven by it, to erect the repertorial totality and make proper repertorial approach, and to differentiate the close coming remedies and arrive at the final remedy. So the objectives basically focused on the clinico-pathological correlations and understanding the person as a disease. These objectives were distributed over a span of 8 sessions, each one of 1.5 hour duration, and with specific objectives per session. So the sessions were conducted through group discussion with free sharing of students, and those students were guided by the group facilitator. Accordingly, the results that we had obtained from the students. So students, basically they are supposed to write evaluation reports at the end of every session. They are supposed to write, it is mandatory. So through the reports we have got this results. So these results reflected better integration of clinical understanding with homeopathic philosophy, repertory and materia medica, and they were able to improve the skills to investigate, analyze and to perceive the patient as a whole as demanded by homeopathic practice, and it was observed through the series of group discussions. Accordingly, the conclusion was made that is the integrated learning through objective-based education is beneficial in delivering homeopathic concepts in a holistic way when the setting and attaining of goals to class and academic requirements is carefully monitored. So the case taken here was a case of pilonidal sinus with high sexual desire. So usually we take up a case where we are able to formulate certain objectives and directives which are helpful in understanding integration of all these four subjects so that better understanding, better correlation can be made by the students so that a logical reasoning and understanding is done. So this is the basic aim. This is the overall aim of obtaining or of taking this objective-based education, and integration of this gives a better understanding to the postgraduate students, so that this application is applied in the OPD and IPD, where the homeopathic patients benefit from this knowledge.
So, Dr. Iswara Das, you may ask the questions now.
Yeah, now there are so many theories on the primordial sinus with high sexual desires and all. This is one case study you have done it. Already lot of objective-based teaching programs are already existing in our teaching methodologies. Why did you take this special subjects for this study?
So initially when we took up the case, we were not very sure that we are going to make so many objectives and directives because we are still in the process of learning. So when we took up the case, gradually we understood, because the inputs that we got from the students, like the amount of involvement we had from the students, that led us in forming various objectives and directives. And like every objective did justice in understanding all the like specific concepts of man, concept of sexuality. So like gradually we went on adding the objectives and directives as per the response we got from the students, which was overwhelming. So this is how we also understood, or we also got one more experience of how the objective based education is actually helping the students in integrating.
You see, this the students coming to this is their age group and their socio-economic status, their basic concepts, their religious attitude, all attributes to their expressions. No, it's not that one group of people with this age group. Suppose you are taking an age group of students about 18 to 25, right, or 30. So where the hormone fluxes are at the very peak, and if you take their sexuality to differentiate their expressions and to interpret that and objective things, is it going to be a very justifiable approach?
Sir, I think sexuality was only one of the objective. It was not the only objective. We had total 8 objectives in the session. I have written only 4 because there was a space issue. So we had taken up 8 objectives, which covered all the integration.
Almost you take the understand and the concept of man, desires and values.
Yes.
See, again, desires and values, concept of hypersexuality, normal, abnormal, concept of repertorial and normal, that is okay. That is in the case taking form when it comes. When understanding the mental expressions.
Yes, sir.
What are the other concepts you would like to take?
Yeah, so basically we took the miasm of the mind and the body. Even that was one of the objectives, where we concluded the mind of the miasm at 2 levels, at the level of body and at the level of mind, where we could obtain 2 different miasms. At the level of mind, it was syphilitic, and at the level of body, it was psychotic. So there were many different objectives. In total, there were 8 objectives.
No. So, what do you say? At the mental level, it is syphilitic, and the physical level, it is.
It was psychotic. So considering the entire life space and everything, we reached to the miasm. Like we got 2 different miasms in a single case, where at the level of mind it was different and at the level of body it was different. So even that was a good learning for the students, where they could actually understand that, yeah, miasm at the level of mind and at the level of body can be different. So it was a new experience.
Suppose a case comes that one is psychotic, one is syphilitic, mind it is syphilitic, and physical symptoms are more related to psychotic. Which one you will give preference?
So what is predominantly present, that can be considered. If the mind is more, like if the mind is overpowering the body, then that miasm should be considered.
Suppose this is a mental patient. Suppose a mental patient and a physical disease patient, a hypertensive patient. And mental symptoms are more of syphilitic in a mental patient, and the physical symptoms are psychotic. And in a physical disease, the physical symptoms are psychotic and mental symptoms are syphilitic.
Sir, again the same thing, that it is a mixed miasm. In this case also we have considered psychosyphilitic. The only thing is we have differentiated that at the level of mind, what is the miasm, through the expressions and attributes that we have got, and through the clinical expressions, what is the miasm, that we were able to differentiate. We cannot, yeah.
Yeah, fine. That's good. Good. For me, it's okay. Any other comments? No. Okay. Okay. Sonam. It's okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Sonam.
Yeah, thank you.
So next we call Dr. Dharmendra Sharma, and he's a principal professor and HOD in Dr. D.Y. Patil Homeopathic Medical College Research Center, Pune, India. And he'll be presenting on the topic competency-based homeopathic medical education, need of the hour. His abstract ID is 275.
Okay.
So welcome, Dr. Dharmendra Sharma. You may start with your presentation.
Good evening, sir. Ishwar sir, good morning. Namaskar.
Yeah. You were a panelist in the last session, I suppose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, okay. Allow me to share the screen, sir, please.
Yeah, sure. This somebody's. Yeah, Dr. Sharma, please. Network bandwidth is low. Your bandwidth is low.
Somebody else was sharing the screen.
No, it's.
Sir, is my screen visible?
You are visible. Your screen is not visible.
Okay, sir. Just a second, sir.
So you are visible, but the screen is not.
Yeah.
Now, sir.
No. Dr. Sharma, your bandwidth is very low, very low. Yeah, now it has come.
Now it's there, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You can enlarge it a bit.
In now?
You can magnify it.
Is it okay, sir, now?
Yeah, now it's okay. Good.
Sir, my topic is competency-based homeopathic medical education, the need of the hour. Sir, I am the Dean of the D.Y. Patil Vidyapeeth for the homeopathic faculty and also the principal of the Homeopathic Medical College. And sir, what we found is that when we are going in for accreditations like the NAC, we need to, we need to regularize our education a little more than what it is now. Our curriculum has been framed along many years, and if you see and if you compare our, sir, am I audible to you?
No, your voice is getting.
Now, sir, now
it's okay.
Yeah, sir. So the point was that everybody, most of the curriculums in medicine, whether it is medicine and whether it is Ayurveda, have been repealed and have been changed repeatedly so that you upgrade yourself. Whereas our curriculum is still, lagging behind. So I thought that competency-based homeopathic medical education is definitely the need of the hour. The current curriculum in homeopathy lacks focus on competencies which are expected from a homeopathic student in order to become a successful homeopathic practitioner. The outcome-based homeopathic education aims to focus and organize everything in an educational system around what is essential for all the homeopathic students to be able to do successfully at the end of their learning experiences, with focus on the alignment with newer performance assessment approaches, both for the UG and for the PG. So the outcome-based homeopathic education means clearly focusing and organizing everything around what is needed for the students. Sir, our graduate attributes need to be defined, and the disciplinary expertise or the technical knowledge, which has traditionally formed the core of most of the university courses. These are the qualities that also prepare graduates and agents for social good in an unknown future. Sir, we also have defined the learning outcomes. Our methodology was the material and methods were based on the graduate attributes and program outcomes, the POs, which were defined by the university. The course outcomes were defined and mapped with the program outcomes, followed by content mapping of the entire course content with the COs and POs. This was done by all the faculty of our college. The outcome competencies and the specific learning objectives for each topic down using the Bloom's taxonomy. The student-centered teaching and learning and newer performance assessment methods were aligned to each specific learning objective. A feedback was taken from the faculty regarding the processes which the utility and the benefit of the exercise. This is an example, sir, of the BHMS program, the program outcomes, where we have marked them as PO1 to PO9. PO1 is the knowledge and skills. PO2 is the planning and problem solving abilities. PO3 is communication. PO4 is research aptitude. 5 is professionalism and ethics. 6 is leadership. 7 is the societal responsibilities. 8 is the environment and sustainability. And 9 is being a lifelong learner. So these are the program outcomes of the BHMS program. And in our regular course, we say that BHMS is a course, but when you go and you see it according to the UGC, BHMS is a program and the subjects are the courses. So we also define the course outcomes. I've given an example. For example, our course number 3, we have marked it as BH103, and this is homeopathic pharmacy. So in an example of a CO1, 103.1, we say that at the end of the course, the learner should be able to do what? So number 1, he has knowledge of the laws and principles that govern homeopathic pharmacy. Now these are covered into PO. These are, if you map them, the outcomes, you can see that it covers PO1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9. Then the second example is the student should be able to prepare homeopathic medicines according to the different sales and the methods of potentization. These are mapped with program outcomes. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. They are mapping. Is able to select the correct potency, dose, and repetition for acute as well as chronic diseases. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 were mapped. And lastly, is he was able to write an ideal prescription. Again, these were covered by PO 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this was the method by which the course outcomes were mapped. After that, sir, we went for the content mapping. In the content mapping, as we see, sir, at the end of the topic, we want to know their learning outcomes, that the first BHMS student must be able to design the protocol for the drug proving. So the learning outcomes, number 1, define drug proving. What does it test? It tests the knowledge domain according to Bloom's taxonomy, level 1, which is remembering. It is taught by lectures, demonstrations, small group discussions, peer thinking, that is the think, pair, and share, jigsaw strategies, the new technologies, teaching technologies, then the quizzes, student seminars, guest lectures, integrated teaching with the organon of medicine. And the method of assessment and evaluation is the structure oral examination, tutorials, assignments, MCQs, short answer questions, the SAQs, the LAQs, the long answer questions, and 2-mark questions. And the formative and summative type of examination is the theory and the viva voce, which is formative and summative at the same time. The results of this was that, sir, from the PO-CO mapping, it is evident that all the POs are covered in the BHMS curriculum. The course outcome analysis helps to analyze whether the students have achieved their respective course outcomes. It is possible to assess whether the student has achieved the desired course outcomes with more clarity, identifying the gaps in the learning and plan the teaching, learning, and assessment to accordingly address the gaps. In the conclusion, sir, adoption of an outcome and competency-based homeopathic medical education, which we have named as CBHME approach, will help produce competent homeopaths physicians imparting safe, rational, and judicious homeopathic treatment to the needy, and the teachers perceive the circular approach as more student-centered and helpful to assess the students in a holistic way. All the desired competencies of a homeopathic students can easily be assessed by this.
Okay.
This is what we have done the work, and I'm waiting for questions from your side, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Sharma is excellent. Good. Actually, this is based on.
Can I stop this sharing screen? Or
Yeah. You can. I have gone through. Yeah,
Yes,
Dr. Sharma, good. You have your rich experience. You made an extensive study and you put it here. It's good. Now, only one question, Dr.
Yes.
Sharma. All the education system in homeopathy, which we have been focusing on creating clinicians, right? We are not focused. Our education system, present education system,
Yes,
is
sir.
more focused on creating good clinicians,
Yes,
good
sir.
doctors.
Yes, sir.
Will it be sufficient for the future of homeopathy? We are going on producing large number of clinicians. We are not focusing more on this. Is apart from your
Agreed, sir. I take your point. Very important and valid point you have made is that we just do not need good clinicians. We need good researchers also. And now, like I was hearing your last talk where you said that what is the future, where homeopathy is going, and what are we doing, and how are we going to prove that these medicines actually work. So you actually need students with a more scientific temper, and what homeopathy needs right now is to attract more intelligent brains into the system, and also a homeopathic doctor can be a clinician, he can be an educator, or he could be a researcher. But if you think that one homeopathic doctor can be an educator also, he can be a clinician also, and he can be a researcher also, it's very difficult, sir. I feel that research in homeopathy should have more scientific temperament, and we also need the help of the scientific community to be able to prove our existence. Otherwise, the time is not very far where we could all land up into big issues, because the time has changed. Everybody is asking for evidence based. Evidence based cannot be what I am doing in my clinic. Evidence based should be that in the research methodology which is made formatted by the ICMR, whether we fit into that, whether we are able to convince our compatriots that homeopathy actually works and this is the method it actually, unless we are able to do that, sir, we amongst ourselves, everybody knows.
Fine, perfectly fine. Now, suppose if that is the need of the hour, which are the subjects you want you more focus to be a good researcher or a good teacher? Rather than we need good clinician. There is no doubt we need good clinician. There are subjects. Yeah.
Sir, what I feel is that now in my college, what we have started doing is we have made the first year and the second year students also attend research methodology workshops. This is to develop the scientific temper in the students right from first year onwards, so that by the time they come to the final year, they are good enough to make some presentations and do some research work. Similarly, in the PG, instead of having, the MD program which runs in India, MD home, should actually be MD home and not MD from home. And unless these things change and we are able to, do more research and more genuine research with the PGs, I don't think we can take it forward from here.
Yeah, Dr. Sharma, thank you so much, because we can discuss a lot, but time constraints are there.
Yes, sir.
So Ankit is getting a little impatient. We have to keep up the time. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you very much. Nice meeting you.
Thank you, Dr. Dharmendra. Thank
you,
you for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we would call Dr. Dolores Marta Estigueta from Argentina.
He's going to present in Portuguese or Spanish?
I don't know if she's here. I think she's not here.
Okay.
Okay, if she's not joined, we will move to the next presenter.
What is the number? What is the ID number?
289, Dr. Dolores.
Okay.
So has Dr. Komudi Padma Mala Ayagari. Oh, she's here.
Okay,
So
Komala.
next presenter is Dr. Komadi, and she'll be presenting on the topic, the legendary tree of homeopathy. The abstract ID is 300.
Yeah, Dr. Komati.
Dear Dr. Komadi, you may start now.
Namaste, sir.
Namaste, namaste.
Today we all have gathered here to celebrate the knowledge of homeopathy in this 2021, the 21st century. But how? When homeopathy was born in 18th century, it could have been ended with Dr. Hahnemann or with his wife, Mrs. Malini, who had the manuscripts and kept with herself. How homeopathy spread around the world. How we are enjoying the name, fame, wealth, reputation as homeopaths. It's because of this tree, the legendary tree of homeopathy, which was my topic of presentation today.
Okay.
Why? What's the dire need of this study, to study this tree, the legendary tree of homeopathy? Some are being attracted towards the modern medicine, practicing mixopathy or other sectors, as Dr. Hahnemann said, mongrel sect, deviating from fundamental principles, polypharmacy, multiple doses, multiple prescriptions, lack of confidence in themselves, in turn towards the system, importance to name, fame, wealth rather than ethics and humanity, and meager or little knowledge of a source books, and many, many more. Is it not harm to our system of medicine? Don't we have the moral responsibility to protect our system of medicine? If we just look back to 18th century, this tree, the legendary tree of homeopathy, planted by Dr. Hahnemann in Germany in 18th century, strongly rooted by the 7 cardinal principles and the law of homeopathy, that is the similia similibus curanter, as a strong base, being vexed with the brutal medical practices which are in vogue during that time, with a noble intention to serve the humanity with sweet, simple, single, safe, gentle system of medicine. In spite of thorny path, it spread its branches beyond the boundaries of the countries by the devoted disciples who mastered, who never wavered commitment to the Hahnemannian principles, instrumental and sacrificed their lives for the propagation and development of homeopathy. They lived to see the principles of Hahnemann triumph and left behind several lifetime experiences and effort by the invaluable contribution to homeopathy, the divine art of healing. We are fortunate and blessed to have the most gifted physicians. The sacrifices of these great men should not go in vain. The lives of these great men carries with it a moral and impressive lesson. So, I appeal, I request that they must be included in the curriculum for the students of homeopathy, for the future of homeopathy. So come, let's start climbing the tree very fast because of the time constraints. Let's start with our master, Dr. Hahnemann, and the devoted disciples who laid the strong foundation for the spread of homeopathy in the initial stages. As we all know, Melanie D. Haveli, she is the wife of Hahnemann. In this tree, I try to represent with the lines, with the 4 colors. One is the pink lines representing the students, followers, provers, assistants, patients, and converters. The sky blue lines, that is the office mates, colleagues, partners, and co-practitioners. Orange lines representing the relatives and family members. Purple line representing the co-editors, co-authors, and biographers. And the blue line, friends, classmates, and contemporaries. So the devoted disciples of Dr. Hahnemann, for example, we have placed over here as the bottom of the tree, they laid the strong foundation for the development of homeopathy in the initial stages. And from here, just we start climbing the tree. Here is Dr. Staff. He is the first pupil of Hahnemann. And Melanie D. Haveli, she is the wife of Dr. Hahnemann. She is a patient. And Boninghasen, his son, is the son-in-law of the adopted daughter of the Melanie Haveli. And from here, if at all we go to Wells, he was cured by Boninghasen, and Dunham was the pupil of Boninghasen and treated by Dr. Herring. And if it always come over here, Lund is the pupil of Dr. Hahnemann, and Graham is a student of Lund. And we'll see almost like he communicated with Graham and Gray. And Graham and Gray are together, they have the combination of the Fowler. And Herring used to communicate with Dr. Hahnemann through staff. And Nerv, he is a student and son-in-law of Dr. Herring. And Richard Hale is the biographer of Hahnemann. And Bradford, he is a student of Lippi. And Lippi received diploma from Herring and founded International Homeopathic Association with HCLN. And Lee and Walter James founded the Lippi Club. And coming to the Kent, he has a number of students: Austin, Gladwin, Sir John Muir, M.L. Tyler, B.K. Bose. They're all the students of Kent. Borland and Gibson Miller, they studied with Kent. And Gladwin, he is a pupil of Kent. Here is Gladwin. And Elizabeth Wright Hubbard and Pierce Schmidt, they are his students. And coming to the Clark, he is a student of Richard Hughes. And he is a follower of Burnett. Burnett, he is a biographer of Dr. Clark. And the Pierce Schmidt, while living in London, met Clark and Sir John Weir. And Elizabeth Wright Hubbard, he is a pupil of Pierce Schmidt. And Shankaran studied under Blackie, Sir John Weir, Fowbister, etc. And met Elizabeth Wright Hubbard and studied under her. So we have come to the topmost of the tree so quickly because of the time constraints. But let us not think that it is the end of the tree. It is in the hands of the living legends of the homeopathy who are the torch bearers for the future generations to come. And the tree continues to grow further and further and further. And the dream, the mission, which was started by Master Dr. Hahnemann, will continue forever and ever and ever. Thank you. Thank you, LMHI, for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kaumuti.
Thank
Good
you, sir.
effort. It's a very good effort. But I think you missed it from the very beginning. Germany to France, but Germany you could do the same. It's good, but
Okay.
it has gone Germany first. It has gone from Hahnemann to Britain before even going to France. Actually, Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Historically, homeopathy went from Germany to Britain. From Britain, it spread to other
Yes, sir.
parts of the country. But that you have not given acknowledged anything to the British people who have taken it from Hahnemann, him, and so many people are there. Anyway,
Yes,
it's a
sir.
good effort. There is a lot of scope for further improving and developing. You are
Thank you, sir.
giving the color coding to different students, practitioners,
sir.
and that's an excellent one. It's a good effort. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So, thank you, Dr. Kaumuti.
Thank you, sir.
We'll call Dr. Swati Pandey next. She's Senior Research Fellow in CCRH, Central Council for Research in Homeopathy, India. And she'll be speaking on the topic Homeopathic Medical Education, Ensuring Quality Standards Globally. Her abstract ID is 369.
Dr. Ankit, and are we going with the time, or we have to run for more fast?
Sir, we are going with time, but we can keep it a bit shorter.
Okay.
The discussion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Swati.
Greeting of the day, sir, and to everyone. I'll try to be a bit fast. So I'm Dr. Swati Pandey, and I'll be presenting Homeopathic Medical Education, Ensuring Quality Standards Globally. As we know, homeopathy is considered as a second most popular and frequently used form of ENCM by WHO, and its presence over 80 countries worldwide. As shown in the figure, quality of education plays key role in ensuring quality care. Skilled and trained doctors across the globe who speak and understand homeopathy in a same language and understand it in same length and breadth is essential. So this review from first-hand information collated from LMHI's National Vice President and NCs and available literature provides a glance in the diversity of homeopathic education across the 6 WHO regions. So starting from the European region, I'll try to cover 4 components: courses provided by the countries in the respective regions, the duration of the courses, and eligibility criteria. So European region, postgraduate degree diploma courses of varied time durations are available. Also, courses by ECH and LMHI is provided here. Eligibility criteria is varied in different countries. So countries like Armenia, Austria, Bulgaria, and Germany offers homeopathic courses to persons with prior medical degrees. Although there are countries like Denmark, Finland, and UK, and other countries who offers courses to anyone regardless of their educational background. If we move towards the American side, in North American region, mainly countries like Canada, USA, and Mexico, diploma and degree courses are available of varied time duration offered by various institutes. In South American region, many countries offer LMHI affiliated diploma and degree level courses to homeopathic courses for medical professionals only. If we move to Eastern Mediterranean region of WHO, countries like Oman, Pakistan, and UAE offer varied type of courses of varied time duration as a part of TNCM only. And anyone, regardless of their educational background, whether they are practitioner or homeopathic practitioner, they can opt for the homeopathic courses. There is an exception in this region is Pakistan. Homeopathic recognized as a separate discipline here, and university level courses and degrees are offered here. If we move towards the African region, I'm sorry I'm going a bit fast, or is it fine with my pace, sir?
It is absolutely okay. You may continue.
Okay. So African region, countries like Ghana and Madagascar, courses of varied time durations are available. Here also homeopathic courses are covered in part of various traditional and complementary system of medicine, not as a separate science. And anyone who is whether of medical background or not medical background can opt for these courses. In this region, there is also exception, that is South Africa, where homeopathy is recognized as a separate discipline and university level degree courses are offered by two main universities, Durban University of Technology and University of Johannesburg. If we move towards the Western Pacific region, there is a meager presence of homeopathy, also the educational opportunities. The homeopathic educational courses are available as a part of TNCM in countries like Australia, Malaysia, Philippines. Japan's offer LMHI affiliated diploma and degree courses here. So in all the 5 regions, there is a region, Southeast Asian region, where homeopathy is well established. Here, diploma and degree courses are available in countries like India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal, while Burma, Bhutan, and Indonesia offer homeopathic education as a part of TNCM. Thailand is an exception who offers postgraduate level courses in accordance with ECH and LMHI. Here in this region, the eligibility criteria in mainly countries like India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka is people who have science background at school level education. Duration of courses in this region, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka offers 4 to 5 years of bachelor degree in homeopathy. India has postgraduate degree and postdoctoral research program in homeopathy for 3 years. At my conclusion, if we see all the 6 regions, we can easily observe there is vast diversity in terms of courses, durations, and eligibility of homeopathic courses offered by different countries in different regions. So as the educational needs of homeopathic science are increasing with advancing use of homeopathy across the world, the existing scenario showcase a wide variation in educational framework and standards across the globe. India, who stand as infrastructural leader of providing education in homeopathy owing to its organized university level education system in the country, can be an example for rest of the world to adopt. Recognizing the existing lacuna in curriculum and formulation of standardized framework of homeopathic education and training homeopaths professionals that can be recognized in every part of the world and can help in ensuring the quality standard globally is need for the hour. That's all from my side. Thank you so much for providing me this opportunity.
Yeah, Dr. Swati, what are the references you have taken for this?
So the first reference is, of course, your book, The History Starters of Homeopathy Around the World. The second one is the Scientific Framework Homeopathy, which is a collaborative work of ECH, LMHI, and CCRH. And then the Unity in Europe, Homeopathy in Europe, Unity in Diversity is the ECH book that has been referred. Also, the WHO document of global reports on TNCM. And so there is a country profile survey which was done by TCRH to collate the first-hand information from the LMHI's national contact person and national vice presidents. So all these information is collated and try to be presented in a review form.
No, the WHO publication TCM. Which year you have taken your case? What they have published from 1976, 790, 2000, 2010. Which one you have taken?
The 2019 is referred for this review.
Okay, Swati. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Thank you, Dr. Swati. So next we'll call Dr. Shraddha Srishel Gadre. She is an MD student from Dr. M.L. Dhable Memorial Homeopathic Institute, Palghar, Maharashtra.
Abstract number?
Her abstract number is 372, and she'll be speaking on the topic homeopathic management of anxiety disorders in junior college students. So, Dr. Shraddha, you may start now.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
So a very good evening to all present here. I am Dr. Shraddha Gadre. I am currently pursuing my MD from M.L. Dhable Institute, Palghar, Maharashtra. The topic of my study was homeopathic management of anxiety disorders in junior college students. So the idea behind this study came from my observations, where I could see these adolescents suffering from intense anxiety, which would incapacitate them to do daily life work also. There were some, and also I saw that these anxieties were carried forward in their adulthood also. Owing to that, I went on to find some statistics. In those statistics, I could find that there is prevalence of mental health disorders in adolescents of range of 10% to 20%. And from that, the anxiety disorders prevail for 7% in worldwide. And in anxiety, and in India, specifically, it ranges from 4% to 20%, which in itself indicates the need for early detection and management. The methodology that was used started with a controlled experimental study plan with 30 cases from junior college students. Screening was done using Hamilton Anxiety Score and diagnosed with DSM-5 and ICD-10, selected by simple random sampling. Detailed case taking was done and simillimum was given to each case. Improvement was assessed on the basis of scores, which were pre and post scoring of Hamilton Anxiety. The result that I found was there was significant difference between the pre and post scores of Hamilton Anxiety scale rating, hence proving the hypothesis. The other results that I found out can be seen here, where females was seen more prone to anxiety disorders compared to males. The science stream seems to be suffering from anxiety more as compared to the arts and commerce students. And generalized anxiety disorder and the social anxiety disorders were seen in more cases of the 30 cases. Homeopathic intervention has helped in improving the autonomic, somatic, intellectual, and emotional symptoms to a great extent as compared to that of the behavioral ones. I think that is one of the limitation of the study also, because the study was of a span of 6 months, and that is not enough to conclude anything over the behavioral changes of the students. So thank you so much. I end my presentation
here. Yeah. Good. Yes. I think there is a lot of scope for taking a larger sample and an extended study. Yes, at least sir. Your beginning is good. Compliments. Yes. Keep it up and build up more data, because it's quite interesting. The data which you are showing is quite interesting. Yes. Build up more data. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And it's good for a presentation or LMHI poster presentation. It's okay. But for you to get some results, you need more sample and better studies. All the best.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So, thank you, Dr. Shraddha. So, Professor Antonio Carlos Gonzalez da Cruz. He's the next poster presenter from Brazil.
Professor
Antonio.
Antonio.
His abstract ID is 417.
Yeah. Yeah, he's speaking
Dr.
in English.
Jessica, if you like to moderate this presentation.
No, he might be Portuguese, no? He might be Portuguese.
Yes,
then.
yes.
Yeah.
In some
Doctor,
another language.
cuando usted guste, no hablo portugués, pero cuando usted guste ya puede empezar.
Pode falar? Pode. Boa tarde. Eu sou cego e trouxe meu filho para ler o texto para nós e me reservo depois para as devidas perguntas e respostas.
Introdução. Sobre a natureza do homem e Hahnemann opõe-se quanto à cura médica. Eles ensinam que ela acontece desde o contrário e semelhança, respectivamente. Ambos, porém, afirmam que a melhor cura conta com a totalidade essencial, consoante a natureza que, como união inteligente, se reflete em disposição polar. Para ambos, nada há que se isole naturalmente. Assim, a enfermidade altera dinamicamente a saúde por duplo padecimento. Então, necessita-se unir contrários para satisfazer a cura. Como essas escolas compartilham a mesma fundamentação, sendo que Hahnemann nem elegeu a paliação e nem a atribuiu a Hipócrates, a paliação é possível que os enunciados sobre o princípio da cura médica que elas adotam também convirjam. Metodologia. Estudo hermenêutico de natureza do homem para comparação com o pensamento hahnemanniano e com outros tratados hipocráticos. Resultados. O livreto elege a noção de similitude para iluminar suas compreensões de mescla e de reciprocidade mútua entre todos os elementos do corpo. Ele a enuncia ao modo de Anaximandro de Mileto e de Lugares no homem, adotando as concepções de Alquimeon, de Crotona, sobre saúde e enfermidade, igualmente orientadas pela similitude. Ele também concorda com sobre o médico, sobre o alimento, enfermidade sagrada, sobre os flatos, medicina antiga, dispensário, médico, epidemia 6, ciência médica, preceitos, decência, decoro e outros. Considerando-se que Hahnemann entende a cura na reação da natureza, no efeito secundário para contrariar e neutralizar o efeito primário da influência mórbida dinâmica, e que é semelhante à enfermidade natural, aceita-se que ambos os autores admitem que a similitude orienta a cura e o fazem gênero. Já que um gênero naturalmente se dispõe em dinâmica oponente e conciliada, o discurso sobre o princípio de cura médica se especifica de maneira oponente, mas refletida. Conclusão. Os dois enunciados compreendem o saneamento mediante a similitude ou o amor em si. Concluído.
Muito obrigado pela oportunidade. Estamos às ordens.
Actually, this is Portuguese, no way.
Muchas gracias, muito obrigado. Doctor.
Obrigado, doctora
Bueno,
Jéssica.
sí, bueno, es un estudio que en el cual ellos, no, I have to speak in Spanish, sorry, I have to speak in English.
Yeah.
Sorry, I speak in Spanish. No, well, this is Portuguese, and I'm not an expert on Portuguese, but the study that they show us is about, it's a philosophic study about the thinking about the similitude principle and how Hahnemann do it and compare it with the totally the study of the totality of symptoms of the patients, and how is and they say that that it's very similar what they Hahnemann said, and if and a normal study of totality of patients. So they analyze the philosophic principle. So it's what they want to show us.
Now, what is the conclusion he is telling? What is the conclusion?
The conclusion is the same. Is very similar what Hahnemann said, and with the totality study of the patients.
Totality makes the total of the disease, is it?
Yes, of course. Yes, it's the mental, the society, the things, all the things that happen in the patient, like biopsychology, biology, something like that. So the principle is and compare it with the similar, the principle of Hahnemann of the similitude.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Dr. Antonio. And anyway, we'll discuss this. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Antonio. We may move to the next presentation, which is from Dr. Marco Vinicia Freire and Argudo, and he is from Ecuador.
Oh, what language he is going to make?
He's going to speak in Spanish.
Oh.
The title of the
buenos
talk
días.
is... The title of the
Good
talk is...
good morning.
Hello, sir.
Hola, doctor.
I don't speak
Hola.
English. I like talking Spanish.
So his abstract ID is 420.
420.
Yes, sir. Dr. Marco.
Sí, buenos días.
Will you be speaking in Spanish or English?
Spanish, thank you.
Spanish, okay. You may start the presentation. Dr. Jessica may help summarize that.
Ya. ¿Cómo me puede dar la posibilidad de subir mi presentación a la pantalla, para compartir pantalla?
He asked that if he can share the
screen.
Yeah.
Screen. He have the option?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Doctor, que sí, ¿tiene usted la posibilidad de compartir?
Ya.
Hay una verde, una ventanita verde.
Sí, ya me salió. ¿Ya?
Perfecto.
Si se observa ahí, tal vez.
Sí, ya lo vemos. Si lo puede hacer un poquito más grande, pues
Sí, le voy a... Ya.
Sí, ahí. Se regresa.
En
ahí
todo
está
caso, ya, muy bien. Bueno, esta presentación se refiere a una experiencia educativa en la Facultad de Ciencias Médicas de una universidad pública del Ecuador, de medicina convencional, cuya malla curricular, pues, como decía, de medicina convencional, pero que fundamentada en la estrategia de atención primaria de salud, incluye también otras asignaturas como homeopatía, medicinas ancestrales y medicinas alternativas en la formación académica de los futuros profesionales de la salud. Claro que son asignaturas introductorias, pero que ese es justamente una cuestión muy importante que queríamos compartir. Generalmente, todos sabemos pues, que hay una presión de un sistema médico hegemónico, positivista, en la formación académica en las escuelas de medicina en general, pues de todo Occidente y los países también de Oriente, ¿no? Esto pues genera una actitud de intolerancia de los profesionales médicos hacia otros sistemas médicos alternativos o complementarios. De ahí la importancia de incidir en las políticas académicas para que las mallas curriculares incluyan estos enfoques de la diversidad. en la formación de los profesionales de la salud. Esto tendría también repercusiones en la adopción de estilos de vida saludables en la población, como por ejemplo la disminución del consumo de fármacos, de automedicación farmacológica, ¿no? Y también en el ejercicio de su derecho a la opción de otros sistemas médicos alternativos y o complementarios a la medicina oficial. En esta experiencia, pues, básicamente es mostrar el uso de material didáctico en este tipo de enseñanza que hemos dado dentro de la academia convencional. Y ahí, pues, estamos exponiendo la comparación de dos medicamentos, como es califosfórico y calisulfúrico, dentro de toda la familia cali, que es uno de los trabajos que se hizo con los estudiantes. El método que utilizamos es, pues, la experiencia, en este caso, se generó en base a clases impartidas aproximadamente un poco más de 200 estudiantes de medicina, y el procedimiento fue la revisión bibliográfica de la materia médica homeopática a través de la revisión física o también virtual en base al uso de bases de datos, ¿no? Y la comparación de síntomas mentales, generales y locales como algo básico en la diferenciación de los medicamentos y el reconocimiento de cada uno de ellos. Asimismo, la elaboración de mapas mentales para cimentar mucho más el aprendizaje. Como todos sabemos, pues la homeopatía es complicado. ¿Cómo vamos nosotros a ir aprendiendo? Y más que aprender, es aprender justamente cada medicamento. Y ahí, pues, la elaboración de mapas mentales, también la elaboración de la imagen gráfica de medicamentos que permitan, pues, reflejar ya a través de imágenes, de dibujos, de gráficos, pues, los síntomas y las características principales de los medicamentos. Y también el relato, la escenificación de los personajes a través de relatos, de monólogos o de exposiciones teatrales durante este proceso de enseñanza-aprendizaje. Y finalmente, pues, las disertaciones, discusiones en plenarias y conclusiones. Eso es lo que queríamos, pues, mostrar aquí, un ejemplo de un relato, pues, aquí se menciona cómo un estudiante lo expone. Ahí habla de Carlos Fos, pues, que es califosfórico. Dice: moría de frío y debilidad, apenas pudo sostenerse sobre el alféizar de la ventana y correr la cortina. Afuera la ciudad ardía de sol y se animó, pero al constatar el ajetreo de la multitud, el bullicio, en fin, sobre la plaza frunció el ceño, odiaba el bullicio y se desplomó nuevamente sobre la cama, en esa sensación desinflada de cuerpo y ánimo que ya venía anunciándose en los últimos días en el agobio de noches insomnes de estudio. Entonces, aquí observamos ya varios síntomas principales, pues, de cáliz fosfórico, como es su debilidad, que, pues, es un personoide, pues, muy sensible al frío, detesta el bullicio, en fin, ¿no? Y tiene, pues, esa situación, pues, de debilidad extrema a veces, justamente luego de procesos largos de agotamiento físico o agotamiento mental. Entonces, es la forma como mencionamos, pues, fuimos trabajando con los estudiantes para que ellos vayan apropiándose, pues, de los síntomas claves de los medicamentos. Aquí tenemos, pues, los mapas mentales, donde, bueno, aquí, como es una fotografía, pues no se distingue muy claramente, pero están los síntomas mentales, los síntomas generales, los síntomas, pues, físicos también, pues, ¿no? Locales, y también el tropismo que tiene el medicamento, la composición en este caso de cáliz sulfúrico, de qué está compuesto, en fin, varias elementos de información clave del medicamento, y que le permiten pues ir comparando con el califosfórico para que podamos pues distinguir con los estudiantes esas diferencias y esas similitudes también. Y aquí pues igualmente las imágenes que hemos construido conjuntamente con ellos, ¿no? Para que puedan pues reconocer esta, sobre todo a través de todo esto, pues es que ellos vayan sensibilizándose a un nuevo paradigma de la salud o a un paradigma diferente al convencional al que reciben sus 7 años de estudio día a día. Además de eso, pues hicimos unas encuestas sobre algunas preguntas básicas con los estudiantes y en este caso, pues logramos conocer pues con ellos que el 90% de estos estudiantes participó de manera activa y entusiasta en el aprendizaje de este nuevo sistema médico, ¿no? El 95% de estudiantes manifestó su satisfacción con el abordaje de un sistema médico complementario a sus estudios convencionales. Y también el 95% de estudiantes estaba dispuesto en su vida profesional a compartir interconsultas con la medicina homeopática y con otras medicinas complementarias. De ahí pues que la importancia de que nosotros podamos trabajar también pues con la universidad de medicina convencional, como mencionamos, pues para que sus mallas curriculares incluyan estos diversos tipos de medicina. Entonces, la introducción de las medicinas complementarias en la malla curricular de pregrado en la academia médica convencional es esencial para la formación de profesionales con una visión integral de los diversos paradigmas y sistemas médicos. Además del uso de este material didáctico elaborado con los propios estudiantes, pues facilita su involucramiento y la apertura hacia una visión intercultural de la salud. Pues en esta experiencia formativa concluimos finalmente pues que los estudiantes al recibir formación general e introductoria de otras formas de hacer salud como homeopatía, medicinas alternativas, medicinas ancestrales, en fin, pues aprenden a reconocer, valorar y respetar otros sistemas médicos que tienen sus propios paradigmas, pero que en base a una actitud deontológica, ética de la salud, es posible una convivencia entre estos diversos sistemas médicos. Pero además, lo importante es que esto impacta también en nuestros pacientes. El hecho de que el usuario de los servicios de salud sepa que un médico de la medicina convencional o un médico de las medicinas alternativas complementarias, y en este caso específico como la homeopatía, pues pueda hacer uso, pues eso permite mayor apertura también desde la población y sobre todo, pues como hemos mencionado, el hecho de llegar a la población pues con estos sistemas médicos alternativos como la homeopatía,
out of time.
permite pues que también ellos asuman estilos de vida más saludables. Eso sería básicamente la presentación.
Gracias, doctor. Muy interesante, me gustó mucho, pero lo voy a tener que traducir.
Perdón.
Sí, well, this is a work. He's a professor of the university, a conventional medicine, and they include in the program of medicine this subject, this about complementary medicines, and they work with the students. With allopathic students, I have to say that, and they include these homeopathic remedies and drugs, and the result is that the students are very happy and they work together. They represent like a movie or like a people, like a how can I say a play, the person of the, for example, Kali phosphoricum and a person that want to they have very cold and close the windows and the curtains, and they want to go to the sun because he saw the sun and he want to go, but there are a lot of people, so he returned, and they play in the group in the classroom, and they work with scans and things like draws and pictures about the medicine. So he said that it's very important because almost the 95% of students want to continue learn about homeopathy or want to continue to use it homeopathy with or allopathy medicine. So I think it's very interesting this work because
Okay.
yeah.
Very sorry, we are not able to ask any questions. So you are our via media, and we wish him all the best. He is from Ecuador, no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, we can't ask any questions. Like though language barrier is there. All the best for him.
Que no tiene preguntas por lo del idioma, pero que le desea lo mejor y que muy padre, y yo lo felicito también. Digo, yo hablando en español, lo felicito, me parece un trabajo muy interesante.
Muy bien, muchas gracias. Agradecimientos al foro.
Is he having a oral presentation also? Is he making a oral presentation?
I think no, sir.
No.
He must be having only poster presentation.
Okay.
That is why I called today.
Okay.
So thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Dr. Marco.
Sí.
So
yeah,
we'll
Jesse.
Yes.
Jesse has got something.
Sorry, I just want to tell that they write me, the Dr. Carlos, that they want to give you thank you, and he is a visual he can see a lot, so that's why another person read the work.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So yes, I want to tell that.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Marco. So we'll move to the last presentation, poster presentation of this session by Dr. Mansi Jayanti Bhai Surati, and she'll be talking on the topic teaching of abnormal psychology and psychiatry to undergraduate homeopathic students, an innovative case-based approach. Her abstract ID is 206.
Is my poster?
Yeah, Dr. Mansi.
Yes. Dr. Mansi, you may present now.
Is my poster visible?
It is visible, but you can magnify it a bit. You have the options above.
Yeah. Is it now? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So the top, I'm Dr. Mansi Surti. I'm assistant professor in Department of Psychiatry in Dr. MLW Homeopathic Medical College. My topic is about teaching abnormal psychology and psychiatry to undergraduate homeopathic students, an innovative case-based approach. Now, this study is unique in its structure because it involves all the three generations, we can say, where the homeopathic psychiatry faculty is involved, who is going to give the feedback to the postgraduate students on how to teach the basics of the subject to an undergraduate student. Now, why this structure and why this type of the topic? The scenario of the recent days clearly indicates that in India, 1 in 7 individuals suffers of a mental morbidity, which it is 1 in 10 around the globe. In 2017, it was approximately 10.6% of the population was having a mental morbidity, which now it is 13% in 2020. And the numbers are going to rise since the pandemic situation where all of us are trying to sail through, and beyond a shadow of doubt, each one of us are trying to adapt to this new normal at the cost of mental stress. And few are able to strike the balance and few are not, and again falling prey of mental morbidity. So dismantling the stigma of the mental illnesses and early identification of the psychiatric illnesses is more important now than ever. Now, this is the need of the world right now. and what is the situation of the homeopathic system of education in undergraduate college is that there is a common consensus that of the mental health professionals that training of undergraduate students to deal with the mental illnesses is quite lacking. And on the other side, there is also the situation is compounded by the shortage of the teachers who are equipped with an ability to teach the subject in integration and in the wholesome integrated way based on the Hahnemannian principles. So now this generates a need, number one, to have more and more competent physicians to treat the morbidity that is all around, and more trained teachers to prove to the students that homeopathy works, and that too in holistic integrated way. So the method had to be such that it fulfills this demand, and therefore postgraduate students of MD Part 2 were deputed, and a specialized curriculum was defined for especially undergraduate Part 4 students, where the curriculum included all the common mental disorders which are commonly encountered in the clinical practice, and its correlation with the homeopathic principles and addressing the causes. So common mental disorders with biopsychosocial causes, its importance for the homeopathic physician and in homeopathic practice. Some of the other topics like anxiety states and anxiety disorders, depressive states and depressive disorders, somatoform, dementia, such topics were being taken, and the basics of those were to be covered so that they are able to identify, at least if they encounter such patients either in their internship or in their practice. But how to achieve this now? So particular process was being followed, and in this process a lesson plan or the template was given to them, and each of these postgraduate students were asked to chart down the specific objectives and the directives for the topic that they are going to take, and then they had to also share the plan of conduct, and in that conduct they have to mark the time duration that they are going to take to deliver that. And innovation was brought in by them by using some video clips related to movies, giving day in and day out examples which undergraduate student can understand very easily, using some gifs or some art or animations that can make the complex topic very simple and they understand the basics. Assessment of this was done by us, and since entire study was conducted in pandemic, so it was completely online. So the assessment was done through specific app where MCQs or multiple choice questions were being given, and pre and post assessment was done. And that was the objective assessment, and subjective assessment was done when report writing was being done by the undergraduate and postgraduate students as well. So result of the undergraduate students in the MCQs was 60 to 70% of rise that we could see in the knowledge that they have gained as per each session. And the report writing of the undergraduate students shows that they developed the interest in the subject, and they gained this confidence to apply this knowledge at the bedside. So here this study fulfills the gap between the classroom study and bridging that gap between the classroom study and bringing it into the practice. That will is now generated in these undergraduate students, which is most important. And in postgraduate students, they realize that how to plan a session, what and how much to deliver, and to what extent and in what way the topics could be made very easily. So what, when, and how much was being learned by this postgraduate students as well. And the integration of each subject they had to do with all the topics that they are delivering, because it was a case-based topic. Each topic has to have a caselet or a cases. So that encourages a student that yes, homeopathy works. So this was the outcome that we could get through this study. So the conclusions that can be drawn is that integrated approach towards a mental illness is must in, and it's important in homeopathic undergraduates because it enhances the knowledge and attitude to deal with the patients. Number two, case-based approach are must even in the undergraduate colleges because that enhances the competence. And there are definite need of a special training programs where teachers can be trained to deliver to the students how treatment has been done and how the homeopathic approach helps in the mental illnesses, right? And that can be delivered at the undergraduate level. So these are some solid conclusions that we can draw out, and this was a win-win result because it trained the postgraduate as teachers, undergraduate also gave the learning of the subject.
Yeah,
thank you, LMHI, for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, Dr. Mansi. seems to be maybe some coincidence. Your presentation and the presentation of one of your predecessor, possibly Dr. Rajesh, lot of similarity. Is it a
Yes.
coincidence?
No, sir. So basically, that structure was for specifically Part 1 BHMS students. So it addressed psychology. So all the topics, those were related to psychology, what are conflicts, what are basically normal mind, evolution of the mind. And this topic, this series was for BHMS students of 4th year. So this
But
included
almost approach.
method. Yes, method was same. Yes, method was same.
Fine. Anyway, all the best. Something good.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mansi Surati. So this was the last presentation from today. Now I will ask Dr. Iswara Das to present his concluding remarks about this session.
Yes, it was for me. It is a learning exercise. I learned a lot of things from them after a long time sitting with the new younger generation making innovative thought. It was something very interesting for me, and I enjoyed with Dr. Jessica also. Reason is some new language, listening Spanish and Portuguese was another experience. I don't know how to evaluate those presentations. I think I'll go with what Jessica says on the 3-4 presentations of foreign language, which I could not do, and neither I could ask any questions. Otherwise, Mr. Ankit, thank you very much for being with us and helping us to finish it. Now we are about 40 minutes running late.
Yes, sir.
Right? We are supposed
I realized it later.
Yeah, we started. Our predecessor has given a baggage of time. No, they
Yes,
had taken more time, and we
started late and we finished on time. Rather, this session was on time. The earlier session was late.
Okay.
But thank you, Dr. Iswara Das, for staying up so late with us. And next session is scheduled at 3 o'clock CET tomorrow, and which is about 7 hours from now. So we'll meet after 7 hours again.
No, now before going out,
yes, sir.
This 3-4 some grading has to be given to those people. No? Some people who I didn't understand anything. What are they? Well, Dr. Carlos, starting from Dr. Carlos, Dr. Martha, Dr. Antonio, Dr. Marco, how to give some evaluations?
So you have two options here, sir, because this was also a surprising thing for us, because we didn't realize that there were some evaluators which were not present in this session also. So in this case, you may either skip marking those posters, or you may evaluate them on the basis of the look of that poster and also the summary which has been given by Dr. Jessica.
Dr.
So
Jessica,
it is up to you.
What grade would you like to give as per my behalf? What grade would you like to give to Dr. Carlos?
So that may be communicated in another chat.
Okay, not on this.
But openly now. Yes,
okay.
yes.
So when can we do that?
So we can connect anytime.
We will finish it now and go, no, because only 4 gradings are required. Otherwise, I will upload those things.
Okay.
Either she can do on my behalf that grading for this 4 possible. Is it possible?
That can be done, or sir, if you can connect with her in the networking zone later on in the colloquium.
Okay.
In the next 2 days, and just have a chat with her about those posters, or you may connect with some other Portuguese speaking or Spanish speaking evaluator, or somebody from Spain, from Spanish speaking countries or Portuguese speaking countries. So you can take their help, because these posters will be displayed there also. So you can evaluate them
you have to bother the presentators to come again and make presentation. But
yes. You have the options of using the chat box there. So you can write on the chat box and ask the presenter to be present on a specific time for that.
Can I have a chat with Dr. Jessica sometime later?
Dr. Jessica?
Yes, or maybe I can put my number, and if you want, by WhatsApp or something like that, and we can.
Yeah, if we can avoid giving trouble to the presenters once again, that will be all the best. If we can't do it, then we will take that as the last resort. We will exhaust this option first, right? I think Ankit will understand us. If we can
Sure,
avoid,
sir, sure.
if we can avoid bothering them again, we'll use that.
Yes, sir.
If that exception is, see, one option is exceptionally good if we miss it, or exceptionally bad, we are giving it to high a mark. These are the only thing. It's not a big thing. Only we should not give over marking, and we should not give an under marking. If it is, these are the things which I had to chat with Dr. Jessica, and we'll finish it. Then I can upload it on my convenience. So by tomorrow.
Sure, sir. Yeah. I'll give the contact number of Dr. Jessica, and you may connect with her.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And Ankit, you have been so good for this. Thank you very much. Compliments from my side. A very good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Muchas gracias.
Bye, Marco.
Okay, sir.
Gracias.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you. Jessica.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ankit as well.
Great LMHI.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Adiós a todos. Bye.
Ciao.
Yeah. Great day.